But big news. Triscay get up in this one?
Well, you'll want to know why if she doesn't, Max, because she is one of the best 3-year-old fillies seen out in many, many a long year. She's had 21 starts for 13 wins, 4 seconds, 3 thirds, and she's already won about $1.6 million. To say she's handy is an understatement. She hasn't raced since the 3rd of April when she won the Oaks in Sydney over 2,400 metres. Jack Denham has been able to freshen her up nicely since, and 1,600 metres today really does look tailor-made. Ken, I guess if there is a worry, it's the big field around Eagle Farm.
Yes, John, and probably the fact she's had a few weeks off, but punters certainly think she'll win. She's odds on, and practically everything else is at good odds. Let's look at these prices. Number 1, and now the Joker, is at 80 to 1. Armour Star at 50s. Blaylock Bull, trained by Bart Cummings, ridden by Wayne Harris from Sydney, is at 10 to 1. Chime Zam, formerly from Brisbane, now trained at Newcastle, is at 7 to 1. He's actually second favourite on the tote. 200 Initiation, 40 Marine Drive, 200 Midnight Mistake, 100 Mighty Panache, 20 Phantom's Hero, who you saw win so well at Rose Hill last Saturday. Kenny Russell rating then, he's in Adelaide today, and Beaver Schofield is on Phantom's Hero. Play On is at 25 to 1 in New Zealander, 50 Private Tutor, 10 to 1 Royal Saga. Bit of a tip among the locals up there in Brisbane, I believe. 33 Shinvari, 10 Sir Alberton, 50 Shortcut, 16 Rose Red, 80 Special Faith. And let me transpose this to about $1.60 now. We better make that about 7 to 4 on Triscay. She's just tumbled down from $1.70 to $1.60. Pretty short odds, but I suppose if you're backer and you get the cash, you won't be complaining, John.
Righto, Ken, thank you very much. Triscay, yep, Mick Dittman, the rider. Mick's had a wonderful winning association with this filly. And, of course, he's very, very solid as far as Jack Denham's concerned. Mick has shown great loyalty to the Denham stable over a long period of years. Well, that's the scene at Eagle Farm Racecourse in Brisbane as they move forward for the Queensland Guineas of 1991. The other big race being run in Australia today is the Derby at Morfettville in Adelaide. And the people who own Triscay, popular owners Jeff and Beryl White, have a filly called All Mine running in the Derby in Adelaide. So they could easily have a big day. And if you please, they won a race here at Randwick a short time ago with a filly called Logo Gal, which paid about $36 on the tote. Chime Zam appeared to be one of the last to move into the gates. Oh no, we've still got a couple to move along, including Phantom's Hero. That's Phantom's Hero with the number 9 saddlecloth, ridden by Stephen Schofield, or the Beaver, as he's better known. OK, the stage is set for the Queensland Guineas of 1991. Here is your commentator, Wayne Wilson.
Racing in the Guineas, near the inside, Private Tutor got the best of it. Midnight Mistake came away fast, showing speed as Play On going up in search of the lead. Rose Road was fast into stride as well. She's driving through the pack. Mighty Panache is nice and handy to them in the early part. On settling down now in the leader, Play On races to the front from Sir Alberton. Phantom's Heroes moved up to be running third, and then Initiation, Royal Saga and Rose Road together. Private Tutor is next on the inside, and now the Joker, followed by Triscay and Mighty Panache together. Midnight Mistake is picking up ground but caught a little bit wide. Blaylock's Bull next on the inside of Chime Zam, 2 to Private Tutor. Getting back as Marine Drive in company with Shortcut, Shinvari, Special Faith and Armour Star. As they come down the side, they've got 850 metres to go. Play On in front, a half clear. Second on the outside, Initiation and Phantom's Hero third, then Midnight Mistake, Rose Road, followed by Sir Alberton and Royal Saga, Mighty Panache, Triscay in that bunch as well. Then and now the Joker, followed by Private Tutor the inside. Further back in the field came Chime Zam, Shortcut over on the inside. Blaylock's Bull a bit wide as they run onto the bend. Shinvari's next, well back, Special Faith with Armour Star and Marine Drive. Straightening up, 400 metres to go. Play On's the leader, a length in front of Phantom's Hero. Rose Road and Triscay coming to the outside, running on is Sir Alberton. And then Blaylock's Bull 250 metres out. Well, let's see what she can do. Mick's got a stretching on the outside and Triscay went to them. Triscay's raced to the front and she kicked away from Blaylock's Bull. And Triscay start cheering for her, folks. She's good. She's racing away from them and she's going to win the Guineas. Triscay first, Blaylock's Bull second, Shortcut third, followed in by Shinvari. Armour Star ran on. Then Sir Alberton, Phantom's Hero. The next one in Chime Zam, Royal Saga. Then Special Faith. Further back in the field was Play On, Private Tutor. Now the Joker. Well back, Rose Road and the last few home, Initiation, Marine Drive, Midnight Mistake and Mighty Panache.
Well, she's done it again. The great Sydney filly Triscay. 22 starts for 14 wins, 4 seconds and 3 thirds. And her prize money is now getting up over the $1.6 million mark. Took her a little while to hit top gear in the straight, but now she's in full flight, 100 metres out. Mick Dittman hard at work. He's slapping her down the shoulder with the whip. Now he goes for the whip in earnest. Triscay responds and is well clear. That's Blaylock's Bull with Wayne Harris on board, moving into second place. Absolutely no match with Triscay, and Shortcut battling on strongly into third place. And it looks like Phantom's Hero has finished just behind the place getters. You've seen the Queensland Guineas live on Wide World of Sports, and now this important break.
$2.70 and Shortcut third, $16.90, 18, 3 and 15. The numbers, New South Wales TAB dividends. Now, Kenny Calendar's selection for race 5 at Randwick is for number 14.
Race over 1,600 metres. I imagine a few of these would be feeling the pinch at the end of the 1,600. An interesting race, and one runner that has met with very solid support is a beautifully pedigreed youngster by the name of Secured, trained by Jack Denham. Ken, Secured was sired by Red Anchor, who was a champion himself. His dam is the very good race mare Shank Hill Lass. He's been a little bit slow to find form, although his last start indicated some improvement. But I'm always wary about these well-bred ones. I keep remembering that Tracy Wickham's sister couldn't even dog paddle.
John, I think this fella can run, though. I've tipped him, and I mentioned all that about his breeding in the preview. He races in the same colours of Triscay. I only hope he can race half as good. You saw a few minutes ago what she did to the field in Brisbane. I'm on him here. He's about a 6.5 to 1 chance. We'll look at the prices. Number 1 on Kylie's run, about 4 to 1. Elaine Shadow favoured into 5 to 2, been very well backed. Al Caspiro from Melbourne is into 7 to 1 now. Number 4, Recite the Poem, is at 7 to 1. Number 5, Isakron, is at 40 to 1. 11 to 1 Double Malt, 20 to 1 Lake Road, 80 Burralee, 16 Our Best Prince, 25 Roman Raider, 30 Royal Sanctuary, 200 Better Change, 200 No Quarter Given, 13 to 2 out the 7 to 1 now Secured, 100 Brilliant View, 200 By the Light, 100 Freedom Ride, and 100 Someone to Love. They're the runners. I'm on Secured. They're about to jump. Here's Johnny.
Lights flashing away, and the starter Bill Cooper moves over to release the field, and a big field it is too in this race coming up. Our Best Prince stands up nicely, so does Secured, who's drawn close to the inside. Now there's one wanting to sit back a bit. On Kylie's Run is laying back in the stall. Apprentice T. Hoare trying to get him forward. The gate's open. On Kylie's Run has stayed in the barrier. On Kylie's Run did not jump away with the field and will take no part in the race. Now beginning brilliantly, it's Burralee going to the lead in the early stages from Elaine Shadow coming over from the outside, pushing up along the fence soon after the start. Lake Road to take over the running. This might be a false start. Yes, it is. It's a false start in the 5th at Randwick. Riders restraining their mounts. I think many of the riders were unsure as to what had to be done there, but obviously an official down the track a bit in front of the barriers has indicated to them a false start. So On Kylie's Run apparently was denied a fair start, and the starter has used his discretionary power in declaring a false start. So horses up near the 800 metres mark now include Lake Road, By the Light, Someone to Love, Freedom Ride, and Double Malt. Now they've all come up towards the turn into the straight.
John, are you there?
Somebody's trying to make contact with me, I think.
John,
Oh yes, hello. Yeah, yes.
John, it's John Shrek.
Yeah.
These bloody phones, John.
W-
John, the starter
yeah.
didn't press the button. The gates opened of their own accord. It's a false start and fall further now.
Yes, well, you could hear that loud and clear out there. A false start in the 5th at Randwick. We'll get back there as soon as we possibly can. But you can't beat bad luck, I suppose. We'll take a break. We'll have more action, I promise you, straight after this. Well, as we saw, we had a false start in the 5th at Randwick On Kylie's Run. Let's go to Johnny Tapp now for an update.
Righto, Max, thank you. Back at Randwick, all of those horses have been pulled up by their riders and are heading back towards the starting point. And this is the situation regarding what's likely to happen with the outcome of the race. I've just had a call from Chief Steward John Shrek. Now, all of the runners are being returned to the starting point, where each and every one of them will undergo a veterinary inspection. Following that, a decision will be made whether this race is to be run right now or to be voided. So the veterinary surgeon stationed at the starting point, I imagine they will now utilise the services of more than one vet. Each horse will be checked out on arriving at the barrier, and a decision will be made as to whether or not this race is run right away or is to be voided. And I can't remember the last time I saw a full start on a metropolitan track in Sydney, Max. It's been a long, long time. None of these horses seem to be terribly stressed or panicked by their escapades, so it's very likely that they'll bung them in and get them away straight away. We'll keep you posted, Max.
Hey, thanks very much, John. Well, fairly unique situation there, and you've been watching it on Nine's Wide World of Sports. And tomorrow night, Autosport fans, when we get a proper update, there's been some sort of decision made out there by John Schrick, then we'll return you to that race, or we'll bring you an update. Between now and then, of course, we've got plenty
where the veterinary surgeon swung into action. He found 3 of them a little distressed after the full start, and they have been taken out, and they are number 7 Lake Road, number 8 Birralee, and number 19 Someone to Love, reducing the size of this big field. And with rain sweeping across Randwick at the moment, we find them being repositioned, and there are 3 horses to come up, namely Brilliant View, who's riderless at the moment and is reluctant to go in. Also No Quarter Given and Double Malt. And visibility at Randwick has been noticeably depleted in the last 10 minutes or so, with a misty haze coming across the track. Now on the tote we find Our Caspero is a late shortener coming into 6 to 1. On Kylie's Run is rock solid at odds of 7 to 2. Elaine Shadow at 9 to 4. Recite the Poem is a 7 to 1 pop. And Secured, number 14, is also at 7 to 1. That's the update on the tote. And now after all this, as if we haven't got enough problems, Brilliant View now refuses to move into the gates. This is a day of days. They had a full start in Melbourne about 25 minutes back, and that is a unique situation. A full start in 2 states within half an hour. Now Brilliant View, after giving a lot of trouble, has finally consented to move up. And we wait now for Double Malt to come in and complete the line, and they'll be all set and ready for action, with the lights flashing on top and the starter now coming over to release the field. They're all set. And this is about... the starter's on his stand now. Oh, On Kylie's Run starting to get very stirred up. Red, almost unseated young whore who's back on board again. On Kylie's Run steadies down. A few of the riders calling to the starter, but they're away now. They're off and running. Secured seemed to jump all right, but he dipped when he hit the ground. Double Malt and No Quarter Given are both very slow to move, and Sarkron can't go in the early part. Elaine Shadow wide out began well. Our Caspero racing towards the lead, followed by Recite the Poem and On Kylie's Run, and then Royal Sanctuary, and right up there with them Brilliant View, followed by Better Change. Secured improving quickly along the fence, and behind those Roman Raider, followed by Our Best Prince. By the Light is in that bunch, and a gap then to Freedom Ride, Double Malt, followed by Sarkron, and last is No Quarter Given to the first turn, and Our Caspero went to the lead by a length to Elaine Shadow, whipping around them On Kylie's Run, who's pulling a bit at that stage, and then Recite the Poem, a length away Royal Sanctuary being ridden along, followed by Better Change, Brilliant View, then Roman Raider Secured on the fence. The field is packing up. Our Best Prince is next, followed by the Light, a gap to Sarkron on the outside of Double Malt, and well back No Quarter Given and Freedom Ride as they approach the turn. 600 metres out, Our Caspero the leader, Elaine Shadow second, On Kylie's Run third, a length to Recite the Poem, and then Better Change, Royal Sanctuary, Roman Raider. Behind those Secured flat to the boards, followed by Our Best Prince, and then Double Malt and By the Light. Heads a turn for home, Our Caspero the leader from Elaine Shadow on the outside. On Kylie's Run under the whip is running on fairly well. Secured is making ground behind those, and then Recite the Poem and Roman Raider. Elaine Shadow the leader at the 200 mark from Secured, and On Kylie's Run. He's had to go for Elaine Shadow. Secured is coming at it strongly. Secured is charging at Elaine Shadow. Elaine Shadow, Secured. Secured did best and got up to win it ahead to Elaine Shadow. On Kylie's Run third, followed by Double Malt, a good run. Close handy Our Best Prince, followed by Roman Raider, Our Caspero. At the head of the others, Recite the Poem, Better Change, Royal Sanctuary, Brilliant View, By the Light, and then Sarkron, No Quarter Given, and tailed right off was Freedom Ride. Secured didn't jump all that well, and improved to be midfield on the turn and just wore down Elaine Shadow to win in the last stride. Secured. ridden by Sean Campton, pays $8.20 and $2.10. Elaine Shadow, a place dividend of $1.70, and On Kylie's Run, a place dividend of $1.80. Well, there it is, secured. There's the well-bred one by Red Anchor out of Shankhill Lass, and that's One Time Max, where pedigree's worked out.
Yes, it certainly has there, Tappy, and Kenny Callender will be very happy with Triskay getting up in the previous race. So 2 out of 2 for Ken today. Congratulations. Now, nobody has ever been able to explain in 10 words...
2 Elaine Shadow, $1.70, and 1 On Kylie's Run, $1.80. They are New South Wales TAB dividends, and makes it 2 out of 2 for Ken Callender. Can he make it 3 out of 3? Well, in the next, the Freckles handicap, he's gone for number 3, Princely Patch, to be ridden by S. Campton, who won on the previous event. Now, that because of that false start, the race has been put back till 3:35. 3:35, the new start time for the next at Randwick.
Into the interval, and it would be fine.
Hey, nice double 20 there. And of course, we'll return to England a little later for the conclusion of that event. Last weekend saw the running of the 117th Kentucky Derby, America's most famous thoroughbred race and one of the international showpieces of the sport of kings. It's a long way from Kentucky's famous Churchill Downs to a tiny dirt track in the Badlands of Colorado. But for those who race on this Wild West racecourse, the dream is very much the same.
Eastern Colorado, race day.
This is the first track in Colorado to open and the only one in Colorado right now.
It's a nice little track.
This is a good place to train right here.
In the big time, this is the bushes. But Colorado's dream keepers are the same breed as Kentucky's.
Everybody wants that chance to make that big buck. That's what keeps people going, thinking that might be the one.
You got any winners today?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gateway Downs.
Yeah, winning's everything. If you win, you're a hero, and it's the biggest rush there is.
1 minute to post time.
Number 3 to show.
And they're running.
Come on, Marco, go! Come on, Marco, riding!
This is where they find out whether a 2-year-old has the heart to go the ground in Kansas City or California, whether a career is worth a struggle against all odds.
It's tough to be a girl rider. You have to be twice as tough as the guys to be able to survive, because they don't touch any slack either.
Today, the sound of taps might be more appropriate for horse racing, as gamblers turn to lotteries, dog tracks, and casinos instead. Still, this little country track keeps its bets covered.
Money, money, money.
It's all volunteer. The people that work here at the racetrack volunteered their time and their services 5 weekends every year for 26 years. That's what's made Gateway Downs successful.
It's a real boost to the local economy to the tune of several hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Here, neither morning hail nor afternoon rains close the show.
Horse racing people are horse racing people.
We're not really blessed with a lot of entertainment out here, and it's just something to do, something to get away and have a little fun.
It's never happened that a horse from here's gone as far as the Kentucky Derby. But then the blood of this business are the unbridled dreams.
Geez, you'd want to be a bit of a mudlark there. Unbelievable footage. More wild winter sports action and the final judging in a competition that's definitely gone to the dogs. We'll have those features shortly, right here on Wide World of Sports.